You know, when you think of Julie Andrews, you might think of her twirling on a mountaintop in Austria. But did you know she swapped those singing hills for ducks? Yes, you heard right, ducks. Now, before you start imagining our dear Julie quacking on Broadway, let's set the record straight. Julie Andrews, the silver screen icon, the woman who introduced us to the sound of music and the magic of a spoonful of sugar, has donned a new hat. She's become a children's book author. And her latest venture, a charming tale called Waiting in the Wings. But what makes this book so unique? Well, it's not every day you come across a story about theatrical ducks, is it? Inspired by real-life events, this book takes us to a world where the quacks are not just background noise, but the stars of the show. It's a world where every duck has a dream, and every dream has a stage. And who better to write this whimsical tale than Julie Andrews herself? After all, she's a woman who knows a thing or two about the spotlight. From her early days supporting her family as a teenager, to her rise to fame on Broadway and in Hollywood, Julie has been a beacon of resilience and gratitude. Her journey hasn't always been a smooth one. A surgical procedure might have damaged her singing voice, but it also opened up a new avenue of self-expression, writing. And through it, Julie has found solace, a way to keep the music alive, albeit in a different form. So next time you see a duck, remember, it might just be waiting for its big break on Broadway, courtesy of Julie Andrews. Now, you might be wondering, how does one go from playing Mary Poppins to writing about theatrical ducks? Well, a spoonful of wit seems to do the trick. Julie Andrews, the grand dame of stage and screen, is renowned for her iconic roles that have charmed generations. Yet it's not just her singing or acting that has enchanted us, but her sparkling wit and humor that have truly made her a legend. This vivacious spirit is not confined to her performances alone. It's also generously sprinkled throughout her writing, making each page a delightful romp. Take, for instance, her latest children's book, Waiting in the Wings, co-authored with her daughter Emma Walton Hamilton. It's a whimsical tale of theatrical ducks, complete with backstage drama and opening night jitters. Each feathered character brims with personality, and their antics are sure to tickle your funny bone. But what's truly remarkable is how Julie's wit shines through each line, making the story not just an entertaining read, but a joyous celebration of theater and friendship. But this isn't a sudden flight of fancy. Julie's wit has been her constant companion throughout her illustrious career. Who can forget her quick-witted riposte at the 1965 Oscars when she won the Best Actress award for Mary Poppins, thanking Jack Warner, who had famously overlooked her for the film version of My Fair Lady? That's classic Julie for you, always ready with a quip, a twinkle in her eye, and a heart full of humor. This humor has seamlessly translated into her books, breathing life into her characters and infusing each story with a unique charm. You can almost hear her infectious laugh echoing through the pages as she weaves tales of adventure and camaraderie, all the while teaching valuable lessons with a dose of wit and wisdom. So, as we chuckle at the antics of Julie's theatrical ducks and marvel at the warmth and humor that permeates her writing, we're reminded of the magic that is Julie Andrews. She's shown us that humor and wit are not just entertaining, but transformative, turning the ordinary into extraordinary and making the world a brighter, happier place. So remember, a spoonful of wit not only makes the medicine go down, it also makes for a cracking good book. From the sound of music to the sound of a typewriter, Julie's career has been nothing short of remarkable. And that's putting it mildly. The iconic star of stage and screen, known for her unforgettable roles in Mary Poppins and The Sound of Music, has a knack for reinvention that few can match. After a surgical procedure damaged her singing voice, Julie faced a crossroads. But rather than letting this setback dampen her spirit, she tapped into her resilience and adaptability. It was time for another act, another role to play. For Julie, it was a transition from singing to scribing, from melody to manuscript. She dove headfirst into the world of writing, teaming up with her daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton, to pen children's books. Their stories are as enchanting as Julie's lilting voice once was, filled with whimsy, wit, and a dash of that Julie Andrews charm. One such tale, Waiting in the Wings, is a delightful romp featuring theatrical ducks inspired by real-life events. It's a testament to Julie's creative spirit and her ability to find joy and expression in new avenues. Even when her singing voice was silenced, her storytelling voice remained stronger than ever. And let's not forget, Julie had faced challenges before. She had supported her family as a teenager, risen to fame on Broadway, and become a Hollywood icon. This was just another scene in the grand play of her life, another opportunity to show her resilience. Her journey is a testament to the power of adaptability and optimism. When one door closed, another opened. When her singing voice was silenced, her writing voice took center stage. And what a performance it has been. So, even if life robs you of your singing voice, remember, you can always find a new tune to hum, or in Julie's case, a new book to write. Behind every great star, there's a story waiting in the wings, and Julie's story is as compelling as any of her roles. Now let's take a step back to a time before the bright lights and Broadway. Julie Andrews, the woman we've come to adore, wasn't always the star we know today. Born into a world of hardship, Julie was the backbone of her family from a very young age. Yet, she never let her circumstances define her. Instead, she used them as a stepping stone to reach for the stars. Her early life was a masterclass in resilience. From supporting her family as a teenager to overcoming personal hurdles, Julie's journey is a testament to her indomitable spirit. This spirit, this drive, it's what propelled her to stardom, first on Broadway and then in Hollywood. But what's truly remarkable about Julie isn't just her talent or her success, it's her humility. Despite her fame, she's always remained grounded. She's a woman who understands the value of hard work and the importance of gratitude. Even when a surgical procedure damaged her singing voice, she found solace and self-expression in writing. She embraced a new form of artistic expression, once again showing us that no obstacle is too great if you have the will to overcome it. Her latest book, co-authored with her daughter, Waiting in the Wings, is a reflection of this spirit. It tells the story of theatrical ducks inspired by real-life events, underscoring her unique ability to transform her experiences into engaging stories for children. And through it all, Julie's gratitude shines through. She's a star who knows the value of every opportunity she's been given. She understands that it's the journey, not just the destination, that shapes us. So remember, no matter how dazzling the spotlight, never forget the journey that led you there. Just ask Julie. And just like a true Broadway star, Julie knows that no matter what, the show must go on. Now, if you're familiar with Broadway, you know it's not all glitz and glamour. Sometimes the spotlight can cast some pretty long shadows. But Julie, oh Julie, she's a woman who knows a thing or two about resilience. It's a word that's been synonymous with her, right from the time she stepped onto the stage as a teenager, shouldering the responsibility of supporting her family. She sang, she danced, she captivated hearts, and she did it all with a grace that belied the weight on her young shoulders. But that's just the thing about Julie, isn't it? She's got this knack for making the impossible seem, well, possible. And it's not just about her early years. Even later, when a surgical procedure hampered her singing voice, she didn't bow out. Oh no, not Julie. She found a new stage, a new medium to express herself: writing. She swapped out the microphone for a pen and channeled her creativity into enchanting tales for children. And just like she did on stage, she found a way to connect with her audience, to make them laugh, to make them cry, to make them feel. But what's truly remarkable is the grace with which Julie embraced this transition. There was no bitterness, no resentment, only gratitude. Gratitude for the journey she'd had, for the opportunities she'd been given, and for the chance to continue telling stories, albeit in a different way. And that, my friends, is the mark of a true star. Because the show, it doesn't stop when the curtains come down. The show is about embracing every moment, every opportunity, every challenge, with a smile on your face and a song in your heart. So, whether you're twirling on a mountaintop or writing about ducks, remember, the show must always go on. As we draw the curtains on this tale, let's remember the woman who took us from the hills of Austria to a pond full of ducks. Let's take a moment to appreciate the inspiring journey of Julie Andrews, who, with her characteristic wit and charm, has managed to captivate audiences, whether she is singing atop a mountain or penning delightful tales about theatrical ducks. From the spotlight's glare on Broadway and Hollywood's silver screens to the quiet solitude of a writer's desk, Julie Andrews has shown us that the show indeed goes on, even when the stage changes. She's danced with chimney sweeps, sung with nuns, and now writes about ducks with a flair that only she could pull off. Her resilience is as inspiring as her talent, seamlessly transitioning from a celebrated actress to a successful children's book author. After a surgical procedure that could have ended any performer's career, she found a new way to share her creativity and spirit. But what truly makes her story remarkable isn't just her ability to adapt and thrive, it's her humility and gratitude. Despite her vast achievements, she remains grounded, her heart firmly planted in the joy of her craft, rather than the acclaim it brings. With a sense of humor that can make even a spoonful of sugar seem bland, she's brought us laughter, joy, and now, an endearing tale of ducks waiting in the wings. Her journey teaches us that life is indeed a stage, and we are merely players, adapting to our roles, whether they have us singing in the rain or scribbling tales by the pond. And so we take our final bow, remembering that whether you're a beloved actress or a best-selling author, it's all just part of the show. Until next time, break a leg or a feather.